Good morning. Good morning. Where's all my cool kids at early this morning? Listen, guys, we are here and live on Something to Smile About Saturday. Appreciate you guys being on here with me this morning. Listen, today it's gonna be a little bit different for you guys. I'm gonna be kind of going back to a little bit of the origin story behind what exactly is the Fun Life coaching community. What is it? What is it? I mean, it's all powered by this guy right here, a legendary speaker and trainer motivator, Mr. Zig Ziglar, and then I also like to say his proud son Tom Ziglar, the author of the foundational program Choose to Win. I'll go ahead and put that up there, right up there, right up there. And really, the whole thing, guys, for those of you that are going to be joining us live here today, it's gonna typically you guys have been following me along. It is something that we started reading. It's called Something to Smile About Saturday. It's actually a book that Mr. Ziegler wrote. We've been kind of going through the stories, just giving you something to smile about, something to say, wow, that's awesome. Just kind of taking our eyes off of us and putting it on others, right? Because that's kind of how this whole thing works. And truth be told, the reality of the matter is we've added a ton. We've added a lot of cool kids here in the Fun Life community. And I wanted to kind of go back to how this whole thing started because it has now evolved to what we call the virtual playground for the Christian real estate professional that wants to close more high value deals to achieve the financial freedom they're looking for without sacrificing their time or their joy. And it's all based off of several of the programs that Mr. Ziegler left us. Uh, we actually start with Tom's program called Choose to Win, right up there, and that really helps you could transform your life one simple choice at a time. And then we talk about see you at the top, and then we incorporate building the best you, and then building relationships, and then top performance, and then we actually go back and we just finished doing the uh, goal setting and achievement workshop, and then we did a virtual one. There's a lot of things that we can do to help you guys to become better versions of yourselves, and that's really all we're doing, guys. We're trying to create. We're not trying. We're actually doing. And for those of you that are following me along, you guys know that I've been going live Monday through Saturday now since October 6th of 2023. My social media coach, Laura Wells, big shout out to Laura. Whoop, whoop. We've been doing this now for, gosh, it's just consistently showing up. And now I can't imagine not doing it. I wish I could show you the chats and the DMs and the calls and the texts that come through. Matter of fact, if you guys want to connect, I'll put my information down below. But seriously, you reach out 903-570-0052. And Saturday, we had decided that it wasn't going to be a day that we were going to try to sell you into coaching. And we weren't going to try to upsell you to group coaching or try to get you into the monthly subscription program that we have. But really, if you just go to johnnyjuan.com and connect, you can add yourself to the email list that comes out, and that's at no cost. You can just follow us along on the different social media platforms that we have available to you guys, whether it's the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can go to Apple Podcasts. You can go to Spotify. You can go to a couple different platforms out there. So there's a lot of things that you can do to connect. And we've gotten a really huge, kind of a loyal fan base. Not huge. I'm not any of these crazy big guys out there, but we're just making little progress. And so I wanted to share with you guys kind of how this whole thing started, because it was back in 2020 that I was looking for a shift. I was trying to do something different, and I decided that we needed to do something different. You guys know that my background is in car dealership finance management. I couldn't finance what my guys couldn't sell, so I selfishly thought that if I trained them how to sell, I could finance more. Never realizing that subconsciously working behind the scenes was the overarching theme that Mr. Ziegler had shared with us all the years ago, where he said that you can have, yes, you watching right now live or on the replay, you can have everything in life you want if you're just willing to help enough other people get what it is that they want. My guys would sell cars. I would get to finance it. Fast forward, in 2018, I got into mortgage lending. I found out really fast that your average real estate professional had no sales training, had no entrepreneurial mindset. There was a lot going on. They were able to pass a test and get a real estate license, but man, their brokers and a lot of the they were just setting them up for failure. And so we decided to go in and create a sales training program based off of the car dealership, just tweaked a little bit. Then in 2020, we came across the Ziglar family, which is interesting because it now comes full circle, because Zig Ziglar was the very first salesperson, or what's it called? Not It was the conference public speaker that my company sent me to go listen to back in late 90s. I was 18, 19-year-old salesperson selling timeshare. I know, I get it. Don't. Yeah, I've repented. I've come a long way. But they sent us to Dallas Fort Worth to the American Airlines Center, and I remember the seminar. It was called the Peter Lowe Success Seminar. There's a lot of great speakers there, right? Christopher Reeves was there, the original Superman. There's I think it was Tom Hopkins, Brian Tracy was there, Zig Ziglar was there, Colin Powell was there. But when Zig Ziglar took the stage, it was amazing. He completely commanded the stage. It was amazing how everything happened. And I loved seeing how he did that. And I was like, you know what? I want to do that. I bought his tapes. I bought his books. I did everything except stand in line for a autograph. And that was probably one of my biggest regrets, because I never got to see him live again in person. And then to come full circle, and now Tom Ziglar, his son, we visit almost every week. Every Monday morning, we're on a Zoom call with a lot of other Ziglar coaches around the nation, around the country, really, around the world. And then all of a sudden, now we go out there and we get to start to help other people, and then we get in. We become part of the Cool Kids Club, I call it, with Jacob Salem through the Ziglar family. And then we get around people like Bob Bodine from Two Chairs and The Power of Who. And then we get around. Good morning, Bubba, my man. Bubba's one of them cool kids that likes to hang around us. But yeah, guys. And so we come together and we come around a lot of guys. We've come so far. In the last 4 or 5 years, we've come so far. And so today I'm just taking a moment and sharing with you kind of how we got here, how it all started. And now we're able to kind of give you guys back a lot of what's been entrusted and given to us. We get around so many people. Yesterday on Faith Your Fears Friday, and I'll kind of go a little more detail into that. You got to meet the FuNLiFe community, the FuNLiFe family, the guys that kind of put all this together. And it's hard for us to not express gratitude when we've been given so much. We've been entrusted with so much. And guys, I call it the Cool Kids Club. And you're able to come in because on Monday, we talk about Motivational Monday. It's a TGIMM, right? Thank God it's Motivational Monday. We get a new week, a new opportunity. And that's the day that we deal with the mindset and helping you to transform and go to that next level. On Transformation Tuesday, right, we incorporate the Romans 12:2, right? Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our mind. That's another thing. That's kind of the next step. On Wednesday, we go over Win This Day Wednesday. We give you formulas and tips and techniques that are going to help you win this day, but not just win this day, win this morning. And when you win the morning, you win the afternoon. You win the afternoon, you win the evening. You win the evening, you win the day. And then you're able to set yourself up to win the next day, and then the week, and then the month, and then the year, and then your life. And so these are all biblical principles. I love what Mr. Ziglar said all those years ago, that he never spoke about anything unless he passed them through 3 filters: the physiological filter, the psychological filter, and the theological filter. And that's what we do here in the FuNLiFe community. We use a lot of scripture. We use a lot of analogies, a lot of stories, right? Stories sell. Right. And anyway, so we're not going to get into a whole lot of the nuts and bolts of it, but we're just kind of giving you a high level overview, because then on Thursday we come in, we call it Thriving Thankful Thursday. And we are just Thursday's our day to have that attitude of gratitude that Mr. Ziegler said was the greatest of all human emotions, because it's the one that all the other human emotions are based on, right? And so if you had that as a strong foundational or a fundational step, as we like to say here in the FuNLiFe community, then all of a sudden you start to express gratitude for what you have, and before you know it, boys and girls, you're gonna start to have more gratitude. You're gonna start to have more to be grateful for, right? He who is trusted with little can be trusted with much. So it's in the beginnings that you start to do your 10% and your tithing. You're thankful for your 10%, and before you know it, that 10%. Ooh, there's a buddy of mine that's living off of his 10%. He used to tithe 10%. Now he's living off of his 10%, and he's giving 90%. How crazy is that, guys? I'm telling you, this stuff works. And then we come in on Faith Your Fears Friday. And that, guys, that is my day. We've been doing Faith Your Fears Friday now, gosh, since probably 2020. I know we've only been going live since 2023. But on Faith Your Fears Friday, guys, that is where we throw the book. We throw everything at you guys. And before it's all said and done, on Faith Your Fears Friday, our goal is to have you guys so courageous, so confident in your skills, in your gifts, in your abilities, baby, that you're able to charge the gates of hell with a half-loaded water pistol and know that you're going to get the victory. So it all builds one upon the other. And the last few weeks we had been working on our, I'm getting chills. You can't see it, but the hairs on my head are starting to stand up, baby. I'm telling you guys, this stuff works. Whenever you start to bring in the creator of the universe into what you do, and you put him first, right? Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Everything, all these things are going to be added to you guys. I know, I get it, guys. I'm telling you, this stuff, he never fails, guys. This stuff holds true. This stuff holds true. Thank you, Bubba. I'm telling you, all you got to do is show up and know that God is going to take care of the rest, right? If you're willing to take the first step, you just got to know and have a belief inside of you that the Lord Almighty is going to take care. He's going to actually reveal the second step. So those of you that are waiting to do something, those of you that are saying, hey, I don't know if I can. Hey, listen, look, stop. Let me stop you right there. Stop getting what I call, you're guilty of having spiritual paralysis by carnal analysis. Stop it. Just quit. What would happen if we really trusted, right? It says there's a scripture in, was it Proverbs, that said, lead not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he's going to direct your path. So what would it feel like? I mean, seriously, guys, what would it feel like for you to wake up every single morning and know that you don't have to worry about where your next contract is coming from, know where your next sale is coming from, because you've done the work? Every single day you wake up and you're saying, Lord, who are you going to put in front of me today? Who are you going to help me serve today? Whose problem are you going to help me solve? And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, guys, but listen, seriously, the whole FuNLiFe community, it came together from the Ziegler family, right? Thank you, Mr. Ziegler. It left us an incredible legacy. I was selected back in 2020, one of the 26 people to come into the Ziegler Legacy Certification Program. And they did an incredible background check. They did a credit check. I don't know what all they did. They also went and did a 10-year check into your social media, all your social media, which I was kind of like, I didn't know what I was doing 2-3 weeks ago, much less 10 years down the road. Luckily, it was all pretty good and kind of cheesy at first, right? Just kind of, hey, love you. But now, guys, we're intentional about social media. We don't let social media use us. We use social media to leverage, to give you hope and encouragement, to just let you guys know that you can be more, do more, and have more in this life, in this game we call life, guys. And I did a post yesterday. There's 2 ways to live, right? One is you play not to lose, right? The game manager, so to speak. The other one is you play to win. And that's why I love the foundational program, Choose to Win, because literally we're helping you transform your life one simple choice at a time. That's it. And we do it in the 7 key areas of people's lives: mental, spiritual, physical, family, financial, personal, and career. And then I added an eighth area, which is your community. based off of the book from Howard Partridge, another cool kid here in the FuNLiFe community, that you're able to kind of tap into your community, right? Community, it's just part of giving back, right? Because if you're able to be more, do more, and have more, so that you can give more. And you cannot give, I don't care who you are, you cannot give that which you do not have, that you do not possess. And then the ultimate gift is one of legacy. You're gonna leave a legacy, and the question is, are you gonna leave it by design or by default? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I know it's early. I know it's early on a Saturday morning, and people could be doing something else, and I'm probably taking a little bit longer than I normally take. My average stream is anywhere between 10-15 minutes. But you know what, guys? I'm giving you the background. I'm giving you the origin story, and I want you guys to understand and know that there's so much more to this. There's so much more, right? Because what we do is we help you in those 8 key areas of people's life, of your life, and we help you to identify your primary motivating factor. Mr. Ziegler said that there was basically a certain amount of reasons why people do anything, and we've been able to put these into 8. People want to be happy, healthy, reasonably prosperous. The people that I coach want to be unreasonably prosperous, and that's okay too, right? My kind of people. People want security, right? They want to have great friendships and really, really good family relationships, or sometimes both. They want to have peace of mind. And through all the coaching that we've done, we really have been able to nail down that they want the peace of God, that peace that surpasses all understanding, right? And then they want to have hope in the future, hope that the future is going to be better than today. And my life verse, if you want to know what really fires me up, you go back and read the book of Jeremiah. And there's this one scripture in there, tucked in the 29th chapter, verse 11. Says, I know the plans I have for you. Another translation says thoughts, but I know the plans I have for you, the Lord declares. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And if you have hope in the future, boys and girls, that gives you power in the present, right? Power to persist, power to keep going, power to show up one more time, power to keep putting one foot in front of the other, power to not give up, power to understand that even if you fail, right? Failure is not a person, it's an event. Yesterday really did end last night. I love what my new buddy, Coach Michael Burt, says, that everything goes to zero at midnight. Everything goes to zero. It's a new day, a new opportunity. Hey, let's get up and do it again. A detour is not final. A detour is just, no, we're going to figure this out again. This time we're going to start over from experience. So did you really fail if you learned from your failure? No. This time you get to start over again, but now from experience. And so detour is just a setback. And sometimes a setback, kind of you're getting pulled back because you're about to get launched, baby. You're about to make a comeback of epic proportions. And then the last one, the other primary motivating factor, is that people want to love and be loved, right? We all have a longing for belonging. And that's why I added the 8th spoke in the Ziegler Wheel of Life, the community spoke. I love to give back. I like to donate at certain nonprofits. I sometimes overbook my schedule. I did that here recently. But one of my coaches helped me to really organize my calendar with my planner to be able to make sure that I don't get overbooked. And so a lot of times we're able to go out there and do and give so much in our community because it was my community that helped me to live the life that I'm currently living. And you guys get to kind of get a sneak peek into all the blessing that God has given us, because he didn't just bless us to be blessed, guys. He blessed us to be a blessing. There is somebody out there somewhere waiting for you to become the best possible version of yourself that's going to, in essence, give them permission to do the same. And so if you are hiding, if you know, this little light of mine, right? I'm going to let it shine. We're not going to put it under a bushel, guys. We're not. We're going to let our light so shine, right? We were called to stand out. We were never meant to fit in. I love what my coach, Tom Ziegler, says, that the reason your calling isn't meant to be who you are today, but rather who you were meant to become. So if it doesn't quite fit, right? If you can't really find your why, your purpose, your calling, it's okay. You're not there yet. Keep going. I literally had a paradigm shift when I heard Michael Burt talk about it. Matter of fact, his book, Flip the Switch. I'm almost done with it. But it was interesting because he says he kind of went contradictory to what I've been hearing. But start with why. He said, forget your why, dial into your skill, dial into what you're good at, and all of a sudden, your gift, your why will come and find you. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Shine, 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 shine. I'm not gonna, guys. I'm not. I God has done too much for me to not share the goodness of what God has done for me. Nope. You can't tell me he doesn't exist, baby. You weren't there whenever we didn't have food, and all of a sudden there's a knock at the door and somebody brings us a paycheck or some groceries. It's been a long time, guys, but now we're able to give back to other people because so much has been given to us, right? And you can't give what you don't have. And so the ultimate gift, again, is one of legacy. All right. And then, guys, here's the cool part. Then we start to focus on the habits that people have. I mean, I got a book over here about high performance habits. I've got another book over here about the 7 habits of highly effective people, and another book about habits. And then Choose to Win is all about habits. So we incorporate the 8 key habits of people's lives where we have to first be proactive. I'm not going to tell you, I stole it from Stephen Covey. We want you to be proactive. Yeah. Take initiative. Don't wait to be, it's one of the laws of what was it, Newton's law of whatever. He said that an object in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. An object in motion, no, an object at rest tends to stay at rest unless that. Guys, we are that outside force, guys. And so you got to be proactive. Number 2, you got to begin with the end in mind. Even the Bible talks about how he who goes to build a castle or build something does not first count the cost. You have to start with the end in mind. Number 3, first things first, right? I said it earlier, Matthew 6:33. Put first things first, guys. Those are going to be your private victories. That's where you kind of, nobody else sees that stuff, right? Your devotions, your prayer time, your time with God. That's why we use the Bob Bodine book, 2 Chairs, in our spiritual devotion, in our spiritual section when we talk about that. I want you to have a really good relationship with your Creator. We're not after religion. We're after a relationship. You get the relationship right, I promise you, everything else, he's going to be your co-pilot. And really, matter of fact, I think she had it right. Jesus, take the wheel. Take the wheel, baby. He'll do more than what you ever could with it. So yeah. And then we start to get into the public victories, right? When you start to negotiate, you start to work with people, and it's a win-win. Go win-win-win, right? And then you start to seek first to understand. This is the 5th habit: seek first to understand, then to be understood. And then you get the 6th habit: synergy. I like to call it celestial synergy, because that's what's going to happen whenever 1 + 1 no longer equals 2. 1 + 1 now is 3 and 5 and 7. It's exponential, guys. The Bible says that if 1 can put 1,000 to flight, 2. Yeah, you got it. You read the book, right? 10,000, guys. Exponential. 1 with God is the majority. All right. The other habit is that you start to sharpen the saw. You become the average of the 5 people you hang around. And now we've kind of changed that to you become the average of the 5 people you allow to influence you. I told my kids the other day, if the people that you're hanging around are not helping you get closer to your goal and you're being influenced, time to change those people. All right. Next one is we want to be able to, if you incorporate all 7 habits in the 8 habits of your life, in the 8 key primary motivating factors, what's going to happen is the 8th habit is where you find your voice. And this is where the magic happens. Once you know exactly why you were put on this earth, John Maxwell said it perfectly. 2 great days in a person's life. 1 is the day you were born. Number 2 is the day you find out why. And when you come into your own and you find your voice, boom, it's almost as if the Lord says, all right, buddy, here's the plan. Here's the plan I have for you. And you see it and you own it and you focus and you dial in and you get the clarity, and clarity is power. Clarity is where everything happens. And so all of a sudden, see you, Bubba. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. So what happens is now you start going forward and you start pushing and you find your voice, but not just to find your voice, because now you're going to go back and help other people find their voice. I'm telling you guys, this is where the rubber meets the road, because again, our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's not our light It's not our darkness that frightens, it's our light. And did you know that we've discovered that people are now more afraid of success than they are of failure? They're afraid that they're not going to be able to sustain the success. But I'm telling you guys, once you come into the Cool Kids Club, we're going to find out what you're great at, what you're world class at. We're going to find out and identify what you love doing. And then we're going to find out where there's a need, where there's a problem that you solve that the market is willing to pay for. And where those three circles, if you look at a Venn diagram, where those three circles intersect, right smack dab in the middle, baby, that is what I call the fun zone. Some people call it a purpose, your passion, whatever. That's your fun zone. That's when you're doing the absolute best that you know, and you know how to do it. You know what to do, why you're doing it, and how to do it. And all of a sudden now, guys, I tell people, I'm not talking about that love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. That's a cute social media post. What I'm saying is love what you do so much that you would be willing to do it for free. Do it so well that people will pay you for it. And all of a sudden now, game changer, right? Game changer. I love the coffee connections. I had a great coffee connection with the gentleman that found me on social media, came to our goal setting workshop. I had another virtual goal setting, another virtual meeting with a lady out in, was it Phoenix? I think it was Phoenix. Another one in Oklahoma. Guys, there's people all around the country that are finding this. So if it's not for you, I'm perfectly okay, baby. Keep scrolling. Next, I'm after the one that knows that there's more. I'm after the one that knows there's some untapped potential, and we're going to help them uncover. We're going to help them become the metamorphosize, right? From the caterpillar to the butterfly, guys. And that's what I'm telling you. The butterfly is beautiful because of the courage of the caterpillar, but it doesn't happen overnight, right? They say that an overnight success takes 10 years. I just recruited my next mentor, and I've got his book right up there. His name is Dan Martell, and it's amazing. I've been following him on social media for a while, and I finally owned up and connected with him, and he's going to be helping me out over the next few weeks. And we're probably going to bring back some of this stuff to you guys and help, because everything that I've learned, I always put my spin on it and bring it back to you guys. So you guys are going to be some direct beneficiaries of some of the stuff that we're going to learn from Dan Martell. All right. So what's next? The 8 key habits, the 8 key primary motivating factors inside the 8 key areas, guys. And that's why our logo is the octopus. I love the octopus because of its adaptability. If you've ever studied the octopus, it's an incredible, very brilliant, intelligent species, and that's what we do here. We adapt, we blend, we shift, we pivot. There's some things that you're going to have to do in life, because life won't always go according to the way you want it to. So every now and then, guys, you're going to have to make some shifts and pivot some stuff. And that's what I love about the octopus. It's able to kind of shift and pivot. And those are the 8 key habits and the 8 key primary motivating factors are going to help you in the 8 key areas of your life. And then we bring in a lot of the people that we talked about yesterday. So go back and watch the episode from yesterday, because those are the people that I've learned from, and then I'm still learning from. And then we're recruiting new people to kind of help us evolve and get to that next level. Anything from Billy Cox. I love his next level stuff. He's got a great event coming up. Jacob Salem's got a great event coming up. Howard Partridge has a great event coming up. We're going to be going back to podcasting, right? We're going to go back to having guests on the podcast, because I don't want you to just hear it from me. I want you to hear from all my cool kids and friends that have come on here. They're authors and speakers and have $1 million businesses. And I want to share with you guys their tips, their techniques, how they were able to get there, because I want you to get there, guys. My goal is always to help that Christian real estate professional to get to 6 figures, not to make 6 figures. That's not the important thing. The important thing is the person that you're going to become. We just had the goal setting workshop from Mr. Ziegler, and he said that what you get by achieving your goals is not nearly as important as what you become by achieving your goals, right? He said that we are what we are and where we are because of what's gone into our minds. We can change what we are. We can change where we are by changing what goes into our minds, guys. And so what are you putting in? What are you putting in? Again, I'll go ahead and wrap this thing up, guys, but thank you for sharing with me. But again, what are you doing? What are you doing in this world that needs attention, that you need to get to that next level? I'm not going to sell you into the coaching. I'm not going to try to recruit you. Today was just about giving you our origin story and telling you kind of how this whole thing came about and what exactly it is. So I appreciate you being out here hanging out with us, guys. I cannot wait to see where we go in the next 12 months, guys, because my goal is to not be anywhere near in the same space that I am right now. My goal is next level. I'm fixing to activate that next gear. I'm really going to tap into that childlike faith, right? It's kind of like that unabandoned childlike faith that's going to allow me and you following along to live out our childhood dreams in this playground called life. So if you are a Christian real estate professional who wants to learn how to close more high value deals to be able to achieve the financial freedom that you're looking for without sacrificing your time or your joy, baby, you have come into the right playground, right? And this is the playground of life. And if you think this playground is awesome, baby, wait till we get to that playground in the sky. And then lastly, I'm going to leave you with this, right? FuNLiFe. Fun is an acrostic for finding your niche. You are finding your niche, Pyrenees, Texas. And then life, I stole it from Howard Partridge. Life is an acrostic for living in freedom every day. So what would it look like if you woke up every morning and you got to do what you do best? You didn't have to do it. You weren't doing it out of obligation or to fulfill a responsibility, but you were doing it out of a privilege and an opportunity to help others, to serve others. Okay, boys, I've gone long enough. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate you. Love you. Hey, listen, this has been your playground guide, Johnny Juan Ortiz, here in the FuNLiFe community, the FuNLiFe podcast. We call it Childlike Faith Park, where we really do help that Christian real estate professional achieve the financial freedom they're looking for by closing more high value deals without having to sacrifice their time or their joy. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. Hey, guys, come hang out with us on Motivational Monday. Thriving, thank God it's double M, TGIMM. Thank God it's Motivational Monday. I can't wait to see you guys there. Adios.